Trading on the road can be scary unless you trade smart. I'm here in Tokyo, Japan, been here for about a week. I'm going to show you some strategies for trading while you're in a different time zone. Let's get into it. Look at this. I got my clothes cleaned and they put paper in it. That's why they feel so new.
So I'm here getting breakfast. Important start of the day. One of the most important things you can do, guys, is just take your time. So looking at the daily candle is the first thing that I'm going to do. It's 8:44 a.m. here, which is 7:40 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time, right? Which is the time zone that I trade in, right? So I've got TradingView open here on my phone. I'm gonna go to the daily chart and just at a glance see, does it make sense even right now for where the market is overall to even want to take a trade, right? One of the biggest mistakes that you can make while you're traveling is having FOMO, right? And missing out, even though the whole game has changed, right? If you're used to trading in a particular time zone, a particular routine, remember, we're people, we're humans, so every single little change can affect our performance. So my recommendation is start on the daily time frame. We'll jump in a little bit and do some actual TA, but that's what I'm doing right now. I literally hopped out of bed and I just took a glance at the daily, and right now, even though I got 100 points yesterday, hopping into a trade. I'm not gonna hop into a trade right now just because of where we are in the market. So I'm gonna eat breakfast and then go to the park and we'll do some TA. Currently going to get some Starbucks at the old. Every trader needs coffee, but look what they have in Japan. It's a waffle, a Starbucks waffle. So we're here at Shinjuku Park. Check. We are at Shinjuku Park, which is pretty close to the hotel. Did a little walking around. We're gonna do some TA here. Yeah, that's it. Let's get into it. It's a cool little fun fact. When you're in Japan, you can get a little Wi-Fi thing. I mean, you can use your phone's internet, but call it pocket Wi-Fi. Looks like this, and it just uses 5G or whatever, and you just connect to it. It's basically a hotspot. It's literally a hotspot. But we're going to do some technical analysis on the daily here at the park, because why not? Cool. So we're here. There's my screen. Let's get into it. This is weird. I never do this, and I'm doing it in Japan. So you're welcome, guys. Right now, the main thing is, let's talk about the trade I took yesterday. Okay, so let's go back in time. If we do bar replay to here, this is how the daily closed. And so I was expecting a little bit of a retest up to this trend line. We opened lower. So I took a long, captured like 100 points, shared that in the Discord. I'll put a photo of that long that I took there as well. We do a bar replay. You can see that we came up. We did test that line, right? Nice little trend line. Resistance became support. Simple stuff. So what do we have today? We're kind of at an inflection point in the market. If we look at the visible range volume profile, you can see that there's this HVN right below us, and this has become support. So this is a key area. What I don't want to see here is us just ranging in this box here, right? You see the change in the volume profile between these two levels, right? Between 20,462 and where I have this alert here lower. We can remove this alert actually, right? So this red box essentially is the range. We could range in there. It is Friday right now, okay? Technically overnight, it's 11:44 p.m. My MacBook has the current time. It is going on 1 in the afternoon for me. So what I want to see here into EU is, do we crack this orange line, which was our support resistance line, right? And go higher. If we're bullish on the macro, this should have been liquidity seek lower to push us higher, but I don't know. I mean, one of the curious things whenever you're at all-time highs, and we'll go over to ES to kind of get a better idea of what I mean by all-time highs, because that's not the case on MNQ or NQ. You can see here on ES, we're very clearly at all-time highs, right? So the market's kind of sputtering out right now. It's losing steam, it's losing energy, but that doesn't mean that it's done, right? This could have been the liquidity seeking for higher. You can see here that on the ES daily, we have this node down here below, okay? So in terms, again, I'm on the road, I'm 12 hours out of my normal time zone right now. I had a nice trade yesterday. Let's go back to MNQ, okay? And we'll talk about, again, when you're travel trading, how to trade smart. I'm literally just trading the daily right now, okay? So the daily, let's go to the 1 hour. The reason I took the long yesterday, so you can see we had this nice high volume green node. We had red, 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 right? All throughout here, all these red candles, green, right? My entry was actually pretty bad because I was asleep. Okay, I got in right around 238, something like that. And no, it was worse than that, right? Because my trade was only, it's a little over 100 points. Yeah, so my entry was 291. I remember my entry was 291. So from 291, I was able to capture a little over 100 points trading to this POC that was naked at the time. So let me show you what that trade looked like, guys. So let's go back to this point in time, right around, let's just say this area, okay? So at this point in time, see it's at 331. My entry was at 291 around here. So this was my entry, okay, coming to this naked POC. So just a classic mean reversion trade overnight. And at this point in time on the daily, again, if we use bar replay on the daily, well, it's already played out, but you can see how it played out here, right? So there was that effort after that high volume signal in the 1 hour to give us a nice mean reversion trade, really on the daily and the lower time frames. Now, travel trading, higher time frame analysis is key. Really, the key to this video, guys, and there's no silver bullet here, is this is what you should be doing all the time. It's funny, I get in moods as a teacher sometimes. It's like sometimes I just want to beat people over the head because you guys really don't listen. So if you're somebody watching this and you're going to hear me say things I've told you a million times, you need to be doing higher time frame analysis. Some of you guys, for some reason, even though you're profitable, you keep failing and what you're doing isn't working. You refuse to listen because you want to prove me wrong, which is weird, okay? If you're not able to capture these trades that are very, very clear when they come because you're irritated and you've given up by the time that we get to this point in time, that's on you, right? You need to be able to be patient and take these setups. This is a really nice setup. Now, I didn't even have a good entry. If I was willing to wake up, which I wasn't, I could have gotten like 200 points, another 100 points out of this, right? I had like 110 points. I could have gotten another 100 points out of this. I didn't, but still an A setup, right? So nice high quality setup coming into mean reversion. We can see how this played out. Let's go ahead and let our bars play out here. Did some consolidation here for a little bit, and it's gonna climb back up. My Wi-Fi is super slow because I'm in the middle of a park right now. But that's the trade. And so my plan right now, while I'm here in Japan, this beautiful country, which is awesome, by the way, is to keep trading the daily, looking for these higher time frame setups, 100+ point trades. What's funny is that a lot of people say that getting 100 points is harder. I think it's easier. I think the only thing that's hard about it is patience and an execution model, right? The mode and the way that you approach the market is very, very different than when you're looking at every single candle trying to determine a scalp. I literally went to sleep and just let these trades play out. I should say I go to sleep and I let these trades play out. Overnight is the daytime for me. I did have another trade the day prior that failed, right? So I had two trades, day prior. I had a short, which was about 100 points. And then I tried to take another trade. I should have held my original short. I tried to take a reversal trade, which failed. I got stopped out for 1 point profit, right? So I trailed a little over break even just because I could have taken profits on it. It was up. It was essentially a lower tier mean reversion trade, right? That failed. So, and it was actually off of, was it the intraday trade? Yeah, it was this 1 hour close here on a 30-minute close. I'll show you guys the trade that failed. So we had this nice high volume bottom wick on the 30. I took this long, okay? It was green for a little bit. You can see it went from close to here, where I was up like 40 points. I could have taken that up to the POC at the time that was there, right? But it failed. Now, point is, that was still a good entry, right? It was still a mean reversion trade. I got stopped out. I let it go. I traded my plan. Now, I spend a very small amount of time looking at the market, which is key here, like minutes. Spending no time at all trading, guys, because I'm literally in Japan traveling, and I don't know, but I'm curious how many people got chopped up, lost money in the session chasing. All you have to do is wait for these setups. If you get a good entry, even though this was a failed trade, I had a good entry, right? Nice bottom wick, and it still retested this node, right? It traded across the node at the time. You can see that there's this node here, right, that formed, right? And price went across that node, as it usually does. Price likes to go across its nodes because that's where the liquidity is. That's where the people are. When we say liquidity, that's where people are. People are positioned there, which is key. That trade failed, got the nice signal later, and that gave me the 100-point long, right? That's my plan. Win or lose in these trades, I'm just looking for good entries. And what's really powerful about good entries is it doesn't matter if your trade works out, it will still work out, just like it did for me. I got stopped out because I had a good entry just on price in the current auction, and printed, right? Got another 110 points today. Similar thing. There are too many options right now on the daily. I want to long, to be honest. I'll tell you guys, my gut tells me I want to long just based off of what I see here. But I'm not nearly as certain as I was yesterday. So I'm going to do nothing. I actually want to see how we react coming into EU here, which is in a few hours. So around EU, should be 4 p.m. my time in the afternoon. That's where I'm actually going to look to execute. And that's my plan. So my plan is to look at that time. It's not to necessarily take a trade at the time, it's to look, right? I'm up a couple 100 points on the week. 100 points on the week, guys. And my win rate this week is stupidly high, right? Just a handful of trades, to be honest, but very, very high, okay? All green, which is another reason why discretion is incredibly important. So imagine being all green, your trades that fail green for 1 point, right? With commissions, I lost money on those trades, I'll be honest. I lost money in commissions, but still green, winning trades. That's key, guys. And I'm saying that not just for you, I'm saying that just for myself, right? Because it truly is an aha moment in how we can trade. And so I'm not going to change my trading. This is stuff that I've known. It's just when you're forced to do something, like I'm literally forced to trade this way entirely right now. Like I can't scalp, I literally can't scalp because I'm super tired, I'm jet lagged, like I just have to let my trades print. So it's like I'm only doing A+ setups this week, which is awesome. Okay, and that's what I want for all of you to do. So we talk about all the time, so I'm gonna talk about all my freaking videos. It doesn't matter if you're trading props, it doesn't matter if you're trading a real account, where you are in your journey. If you trade well, you'll make money, which is something that a lot of you guys miss. You're always trying to find a shortcut, gamify the system, or find some way to try to cheat this market, which, you know, will work in the short term, and then eventually you'll lose it all. Anything that is made simply will be lost. Okay, so if you're ever travel trading, you know, my recommendation to you is keep it simple. Trade on the higher time frames, trade on the daily. It doesn't matter what time frame you're on. Honestly, all the time frames are the same. The difference is, right, if they're the same force, then why do I want to trade on the daily versus the 5? Wouldn't there be more opportunity on the 5? No, right? Because on the higher time frames, there's less candles, and so there's less information to figure out. There's literally less options, right? It's literally what you're thinking. You're saying, well, isn't there more opportunity on the 5? Yeah, the opportunity goes both ways, win or lose. So higher time frames works better. Shout out to all of you who are subscribed. We just cracked 13K, which is pretty cool. And yeah, my goal is to get to 20. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button if you're watching. Check out my other videos, and see you in the next video. Peace. Oh my God, my back. I'm getting old, guys. 33 is hitting. It's hitting pretty good. Check out how beautiful this park is. Absolute banger. Maybe we'll record some more stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But that's it.